Good morning, Maureen. Welcome to the Love Seat. Right, so we've never met before. And okay, so let's start off by telling me a little bit about the history of your hair. What do you like? What do you dislike?
Okay, so traditionally, I would have always had a bob,
Okay.
From when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and a fringe. And it more or less gone along with that. Every now and again, tried something different, like a perm in the
Oh, yes.
70s.
We all love a good perm. I don't do them anymore, but I do love them.
It was because what happens is they go really curly, like corkscrew.
Uh-huh.
I don't like this, and you're stuck with it. I've had highlights a couple of years ago, but it's the maintenance of the balayage that I'm a bit lazy.
Right, okay, so this color has been done maybe about 8 weeks ago.
Spot on.
Okay. And so obviously, so we can see, so I can see you've got some root spray on the back. But if we look down like that, you can see, so you are, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
77.
Fabulous. Same as my mum. Yes.
How is she?
She's very good, thank you. She's arriving in about 3 weeks' time. Yes.
Has she been before?
Yeah, she comes a lot, about 3 times a year. So I can see, so obviously, so you do have white hair. You're not 100% white. I can see there's still some natural pigment through the back, definitely more whiter through the front. And the color that you currently use, do you do that yourself or you have it done?
It's a DIY
You do
myself.
it yourself. Okay. And when you look at your hair at the moment, what for color-wise, how do you feel about the color?
It's at the moment it looks quite dull,
Right, I agree with that.
and I think it could probably be lifted in terms of colour. So I don't see myself as being totally white or grey,
Yes.
and I don't see myself as being blonde or a redhead.
Right.
But just a sort of a happier shade of brown
Yes.
with maybe some gold or copper tints in them. I don't know.
So you are reading my mind exactly.
Stop
so
it.
when I look at your hair color, so with a natural brunette, we have got, so my hair is natural. Admittedly, my hair is still a bit wet, but with a natural brunette, you have up to 17 different shades of brunette in the color. Now, when you do, let's say, for example, a DIY job, what that color is designed, it is designed to make sure that we get a full coverage, which means that every single hair becomes the same color. So then what we have is when we look at the hair through there, you can actually see it's slightly lighter there. And there, where the color application was not amazing, it's actually gone slightly darker. Which with brunettes, what happens is color on top of color actually makes the color darker. So we do have a bit of color banding there. And where it's gone darker, it makes it flat and deep. And you lose the, what do you call it, like the multi-tones that runs through the hair.
That makes sense.
Now, the reason I pulled your hair back is you are definitely a brunette. We can see the eye color, we can see the eyebrows and the skin tone, but this is too dense for you, for me, on you. So what I would definitely say is do the root color. Now, it's difficult to go lighter on the root than what we currently have, because what that will mean is that you'll have another light bit there and then lighter and then darker, which if it was the other way around, you've got darker there, lighter to there, that could work. So what I would recommend we do today is start off by bringing in a lot more of a balayage effect. So get the roots, do that, get them nice and soft so that they don't feel so blocky. And then go in with balayage and lift some of this out and give it a lot more.
What's balayage?
Right. So balayage is a French word, and it's a, people will say balayage is a technique, but balayage is actually an end result. So what that means is it's the movement from color from dark to light. So for example, your ends here are slightly lighter, so that's darker, so that will be a very soft balayage. Okay. And then you get balayage in the extreme version where people have got dark roots like I do, and then blonde ends. So that's the extreme version. But on you, we're not going to go for anything that's extreme. We're going to go for something to really lift, bring shine, bring life to the hair. Because the base color as a whole is not bad, but I can, that's there, it's too dense. So actually, I'll just turn your head slightly to there so people can actually see. It's got a little bit more gloss there, and then through there, you've got that dark panel. And what you want to do is lift that panel out. And also, it will make the haircut pop even more. So coming to the haircut, Now, I know you mentioned you've had a bob all your life. So how do you feel? So I always say to people, tell me the shortest you're willing to go. And then what I will do is I will design something in that range that will work for you. And then what we can look at something like a wild card, where we'll say, if we do a complete change, what would that look like? So at the moment, how do you feel about the length of the hair?
I've deliberately, so I would say I had my hair trimmed about 8 weeks ago.
Okay.
So this is as long as it would be. Normally it's, I would say, this much shorter,
Right.
coming down like that. So it's kind of not short, but it's not on my shoulders.
Right.
And I have this kind of fantasy that you could have a sweeping,
Yes.
phase going round. Whether that's possible or not, I don't know.
So how would you be open for something else?
Tell me.
Right. So the first thing that I see, because you've mentioned that you normally have something short here that goes longer forward. Now, how a haircut works is shorter hair pushes longer hair in the direction it's going to go. So if you make your hair shorter here, longer forward, the hair will naturally come forward like that. Now, when I look at you, obviously you've got a fringe, which I quite like the fringe. But then once this hair comes forward, it actually becomes quite a lot on you. It's quite imposing. So the first thing I want to do is get that hair off your face and sweeping it forward. Do you normally, it's normally a side parting, am I right?
Yeah, it's not a definite parting.
Right.
So I would cut it back and then it just falls into that where the kind of gradient of the hair is feeling natural.
So if you said to me, I can do whatever I want, what I would do is I will take you a fair bit shorter through the back. I will give you something that's a little bit more tapered into there, because when you look at your face shape, just open up the hair here. So when we look at the face shape, so you are a square. So you square through there and you square through there. So what we want to do, we want to create that shape, to open up the cheekbones and lift the face, because what that does immediately, it gives us lift and gives us youth. Now at the moment, you've got a square line there. So the next thing so if you do a little trick for me, or a little example,
I try.
find a line, a horizontal line, and then bring your eye up, and you'll see as soon as you bring the eye up, your eye picks up all the horizontal lines moving forward.
Yes.
Now what happens is you've got a horizontal line there, the next horizontal line is there, so what that does, it actually brings it out, so it makes you more square. And what we want to do is we actually want to lift that. So if it was me, I would take that, lift that to sit about there. It will instantly give you more volume there, which will then, for the face shape, open you up, and then keep that longer through there. So those links through there don't need to be any shorter, but as soon as you have that through there, it will give you a lot more lift and bounce throughout, which will work really well. So that's option one. Option two, if you want to bring it up, if you feel that is too much for change, because I know that is a big change. If you feel you don't want to have that, we can still bring that up a little bit through there, like about a 2 months worth of. And then definitely I would say it needs some internal shaping through here to really get that lifted. So when you tuck that behind the ear, it actually, again, elongates that, and facially creates that shape through there, which will look, both of them will look very, very good.
Marvelous.
So which one do you prefer?
Lorna, you have to help me here. Should I go for what Gustav is suggesting, a totally different style, or traditional but with a lift?
Different.
So we're going with option one.
Why not? But not too short.
Not too short. We're going to go for conservative change.
Marvelous.
Right.
Think of your mum.
So you see, so my mum, I said to her this week, I said to her, what's happening with your hair? Why are those roots so white? She said to me, I coloured it 2 weeks ago. I said, well, it's time to colour it again.
Oops.
So my mum, she listens very, very well. But we change her hair constantly. She's that, so we'll make you look absolutely fabulous.
Thank you. That's always reassuring.